Hello everyone, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. My name is Brenda Campbell. I am an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. Today is Mindful Monday, and today we are going to do a very simple tile with just a few tangles or patterns, and more importantly we are going to take some time for ourselves to just kind of relax into this moment, to be present, just letting all of our cares and concerns fall away and just kind of breathe for a little bit. I am going to walk you through the 8 steps of the Zentangle method of drawing. I think it's magic. Hopefully you will come to agree with me if you practice. So grab a pen, grab a pencil, grab something to draw on, and we're going to go right ahead and get started with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. So let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths to begin with, sitting up straight and tall. And as you breathe in, inhale, get straight, alert. Think of yourself like growing up tall like a tree. And on the exhale, we are going to let all of the air out, exhaling completely. And as we do that, we are going to just relax everything down. So let's go ahead and begin. Breathing in and out. And again, inhale, getting tall, and exhale, and relaxing down. One more big breath in, and out. Now just kind of relax into a natural breathing rhythm and pay attention to your breath. Just follow it as you inhale and exhale. Just follow the breath, pay attention. As thoughts roll in, as they will, just acknowledge them and then let them go. Imagine they drift on past like fluffy clouds in a blue sky. And go back to the breath. And relaxing down. Now I want you to think of something that you are grateful for today. And whatever that is, just hold on to it and feel into it. What does this feel like, this gratitude? Continue to breathe. I want you to remember this feeling as we draw today and bring it with you into the practice. And occasionally just stop yourself and take a breath. Remember the feeling of gratitude and continue on. And that is step 1. It's as simple as that. Now, we are going to use paper, I'm using a 3.5-inch square Zentangle tile. I'm going to be using a Micron PN pen, PN for plastic nib, and it has a bit of a fatter line, which I kind of like. I'm also going to be using a pencil. You can use any pencil. And I have a tortillon for blending out the graphite. So I begin step 2 with a pencil. Now step 2 is putting a dot in each of the 4 corners of our tile. I'm going to make my dots kind of closer today, farther away from the corners than I might normally do, but you could put your dots as close or as far from the corner as you like. Now the next step, step 3, is to connect these dots to create a border. Now I like to turn my tile so that I get a more consistent line. And that is step 3. Step 4 is our string. Now the string is simply a line or a series of lines that separate the space inside of our border, so we have a place to put our patterns or tangles. Today's string is going to be a diagonal line across from one corner to another. And then on one side, I'm going to make a half circle that comes to the line, kind of like I was going to make a giant crescent moon, if you know what that tangle is. But that is all we're going to do for our string today. So I'm going to put my pencil away. I'm picking my pen back up, and we are going to begin step 5 with the pattern Knight's Bridge. Now I like this pattern because it brings a lot of dark black, solid black into my composition, and that is very dramatic. It adds a lot of drama, and I love drama. So I'm going to start by outlining this semicircle here, or half circle. Got a little wobbly there, but that's okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to put a grid inside this shape. But I want it to give it some dimension. So I'm going to kind of begin with one coming down as just a very slight angle. I'm going to do another one, another one, another one. Now these are going to slightly curve the other direction. They're still pretty straight. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to draw a line across the center, just a little above the center. And then my next ones are going to curve slightly. And that gives us just a little bit of dimension. So I am going to go ahead and you can begin anywhere you like. I think I'm going to begin here only because I want to smooth out this edge a little bit. There. Now, you can go on from here, but remember the trick is where a square touches at the corner, that is one you can do next. If you follow this little rule, then you will never be concerned about putting black in the wrong square. You will always have the right square. And you notice I'm turning my tile so that I can clearly see the line to the left since I'm right-handed, so I don't go over that line mistakenly. Now, if you're left-handed, you might have to do it the opposite way. Okay, so there is another one touching the corner. And this is just a half a one here. And then this little tiny one here. Now I'll come up here. I'm trying to make sure I follow that rule with every one I fill in. Now I know this is not very exciting to watch, so I'm going to continue to fill in the rest of my solid black in my Knightsbridge pattern or tangle. And if you're drawing along, go ahead and pause the video and then take your time to fill in all of your solid black squares. Remember, filling in a space with solid black or any color ink is just as meditative in this process as drawing the lines of the pattern. So take your time, fill it in. Remember the rule, only fill in squares that touch at the corner. And when you're done, come back, unpause the video, and we'll be ready to move on. So go ahead, pause that video now. Okay, so I am back. I have all of my checkerboard squares filled in with solid black, and that is the tangle Knightsbridge. Now, the next tangle we're going to draw is one that I just recently did a drawing video on, and that is the tangled tog. And it's spelled T-A-G-H. I'm not sure if it's pronounced tog, but I'm going to go ahead and use that. And what we're going to do is put it around our Knightsbridge semicircle. So I'm going to start at that center line, and I'm going to make my little rounded scallop shape for my tog. This is one of my favorite patterns. I think it's really whimsical, and I like whimsy, so I like this pattern. Okay, and I'm going to do another row, but I'm going to start in the center of this one. Now these will be a little bigger maybe because I'm going to the center of the next shape each time. Okay, this is our basic shape. I like to call it a scallop shape in my tog pattern. And what I'm going to do now is put a little black semicircle almost. This little shape is going to go in the center of each one. Again, you can make these as large or as small. I'm not making them too large because I still have the black from my Knightsbridge to bring some drama. So I don't need to go crazy here. I slightly turn my tile each time just so I have a consistent line, and it also is less stressful on my wrist. My wrist stays more relaxed. Okay, now in this next row, we're going to go from the center between the two in the row before, and that's where we're going to make our shape. There's lots of different ways you can decorate this tangle, and this is one of the easiest ones. It's certainly a good one to use if you're looking to add a little drama because of the solid black. But there are all kinds of ways to decorate it, so limited only by your imagination. Okay, so that is our second tangle talk. Now, the next tangle we're going to do, we're going to put in this side of our space, our string space. And I'm going to fill this whole space with one tangle, and that tangle is Orlique. Now, I like Orlique because it always gives such nice texture to the space. And we begin with just kind of a curvy line. And then we just continue to aura that curvy line. When we're finished with Orlique, I think it will look kind of like a piece of cloth. Now let's do the other side because we're going to fill this whole space. Stopping when I get to that center line there. So it looks kind of like this Orlique is going up underneath. Okay, and then the next step is to draw lines in the opposite direction. So it's kind of like a grid, but with curvy lines. And that's what gives this pattern the fun texture that it has. Take your time. It can get confusing with all of these lines going in all these different directions. So if you need to, slow down. Maybe even take another breath. Okay, that is our Orlique, and we're finished with step 5, the tangles. So I'm going to put my pen away and pick up my pencil. We're going to begin with shading our Knightsbridge, and I'm simply putting some graphite on the inside of right around the edge of the tangle, but I am not putting it in the black, just in the white. I'm going to do the same thing here in the center, separating it from that other tangle. I'll get my tortillon out, and I will start blending that. Okay, that will be good enough for now. I'll get my pencil back out and I'm going to start shading talk. Now what I'm going to do first is go around at the bottom of the tangle. It's right on the edge with the Knightsbridge section. And I'm putting a bit of graphite there, but I'm trying again to keep it off the black. We may have to go back and blacken those up again when we're done. That's okay. So there's my first one, and now I'm going to do the same thing for this next layer. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my tortillon, and let's blend this out. Using small circular motions, trying to keep it off of the black. Like I said, we can always go back if we need to and re-blacken those with our ink. I'm just kind of pulling this out away from the bottom just a little bit more on this bottom layer. I guess I can do the same thing here. Okay, now I'm also not adding more graphite, but using what's on my tortillon. I'm just going to kind of round out each of the tips here, just to let them stand out from the background a little bit. Okay, so we're done shading our talk. And I'm going back to my pencil, and we are now going to shade or leaf. Now, it's really, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I just kind of look for the curves and kind of imagine where it would be darker. So like, I think it might be darker here, and then it kind of rises up here. So then it might be darker here, and maybe here. I don't know. But we just put a little bit of graphite in there. Let's see how that works out. Now we're just going to blend that out. Might bring some more in here. Well, we have some dimension and texture in here. I do think I'm gonna come back in with my pencil though, and I am gonna darken up this space between the two sides. And I'm also going to reinforce this line here. It's really important to slow yourself down if you're going over lines. There. I think that's really all we need. Kind of looks like a goofy sun rising up over a field of something, maybe. I don't know. It's an abstract, as Zentangle is. So we have finished step 6, which is the shading, and we've been added a little bit of love with the darkening the lines a little more. So we're moving on to step 7, which is initial and sign. So I shall put my chop right here, I think. Kind of tucked him underneath there. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to sign it on the back. I'll date it off camera. I am going to make a note of our tangles. So we did Knightsbridge. And we did talk. And then we did Orleek. And any notes you want to add, I'm going to add that I created this for my Mindful Monday 63. And step 8 is simply to sit back and appreciate what you've done. You've taken some time today for yourself. You've slowed yourself down, brought a little mindfulness into your world. Hopefully it will carry on through the rest of your day and into your week. So thank you so much for joining me, and I really appreciate it. If you've watched, or especially if you've drawn along, I love to see what you've drawn. So if you do post them on social, simply tag me, Brenda Campbell, or Angel Whispers Art. I should be able to find them, and I can give you a little bit of love. I just enjoy seeing what everybody does. So once again, thanks for being here. And remember, as always, to be you and be happy.